Now, to add some fixtures to our plan, we can use a fixtures command of Specifi. We can go in architectural section of Specifi ribbon and we can click over fixtures. Here we can choose, first of all, the type, and as type we can select window. If you click over the preview of the window, you can see the entire library, with all the available windows you can insert. So you can browse, okay? And for example, we want to insert the first one to lift window, and now we can set here the dimension, for example, 1,600 millimeters, 1,200 is height, and height from floor 1,000. In this case, we can also change the insertion point of our block. From the corner, we can move it to the middle. In our case, we can leave it at the corner, okay, and we can press OK button. Specifi asks to identify the wall where you want to insert the window. In this case, it asks, if you read the command line, it asks for external point. External point, it means a point outside the room. Okay, so one point out. So left click out, and then another point inside. Now it's asking, if you read the command line, it's asking for an internal point. In this case, it's not necessary to have ortho function activated. You can also draw the dashed line also without ortho function. And you just have to draw this line close to the corner where you want to specify the length, the distance of the window from that corner. So I click here now, second click, and now, as you can see, the software highlights the internal wall, the line of the internal side of my wall, and it asks for the distance from that corner. In this case, we can say as this distance, we can type, for example, 1,500 millimeters and press enter to confirm. So the window has been inserted and this distance is 1,500 millimeters. We can repeat the command with another window and we can leave the same dimension, okay, same settings. I click OK again. Now, if I want to add another one and I want to specify a distance from the previous windows, I need to draw the line close to the window. Okay, so like this. And now, again, the distance could be 1,900, for example. And Specifi has inserted the second window, and this distance is 1,900 millimeters. Again, we can call the same command. I can change also the type of window. For example, I select sliding window. I can set dimension 1,200 per 1,200 millimeters, always 1,000 from floor level. And I can leave the insertion point at the corner. I click OK. Now I want to put along this piece of wall, so one point out, 1 point in, and for example, the distance 800 millimeters. If you want to specify the distance from the other corner, so I want to insert the same window, but instead of selecting from top corner, I want to specify the distance from the bottom corner, I just have to select 1 point here, first point, external, and the point internal there. And now insertion, for example, 1,000 millimeter. And so the fixture, the window has been inserted with the reference to that corner at the bottom. Well, at the end, we can insert also another type of window. So I call fixtures again. I select door now as type. I click here just to browse and open the library of all available doors. At the end, you have also sliding doors. And I can select four-side sliding door. I click OK. If you want to insert your door in the middle of the wall, you can move the insertion point to the middle. Then you can press OK button. If you want, you can set here, of course, the dimension of your door. OK, for example. And clicking OK now, the software asks 2 points. I don't care about the reference corner, because in this case, I have to insert in the middle. So 1 point out, 1 point in. And when it asks for the insertion point, okay, I can force the OSNAP setting. Okay, I can go there. I can say, okay, I just want the midpoint. I can remove the rest. As you know, while you have a command running, okay, and you set the OSNAP. In this case, the OSNAP, it's a temporary setting. So after that, AutoCAD will restore the previous settings. So I set midpoint now, and I can click here, midpoint. And the fixture will be inserted based on the midpoint. In order to see our project, we can go here to views, and from plan view, we can change to isometric, for example, southeast. And we can also apply the shading, realistic. If needed, also here you have 3D orbit command that permits to rotate your environment just to see all the entire room.